It's Sunday night. You're lying in bed, and that familiar weight settles in your chest. Tomorrow is Monday. Your phone buzzes with work emails. Your mind starts racing through the week ahead meetings, deadlines, that project you've been putting off. You set your alarm for 6 a.m., promising yourself you'll start the week right this time. But deep down, you already feel defeated before Monday even begins. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. I'm Tony, and I've spent years studying why some people leap out of bed on Monday morning, while others feel like they're drowning before the week even starts. What I discovered might change everything about how you approach your Monday mornings. Here's what most people don't realize. Your Monday morning doesn't just set the tone for Monday, it literally shapes your entire week. The science behind this is fascinating, and today I'll share 3 research-backed insights that can transform your Monday morning from something you dread into the most powerful part of your week. Because here's the truth, Monday morning isn't your enemy. It's your secret weapon. Let me paint you a picture. It's 6 a.m. on a Monday. Sarah, a marketing manager from Denver, used to hit snooze 3 times, scroll through social media in bed, then rush to get ready while her anxiety climbed higher with each passing minute. She'd arrive at work already feeling behind, reactive, and defeated. But something shifted when she learned about what psychologists call the fresh start effect. This isn't just feel-good psychology, it's hard science. Research from the University of Pennsylvania found that people are significantly more likely to pursue goals and make positive changes at temporal landmarks like the beginning of a week, month, or year. Think about it. When was the last time you decided to start a new habit on a Wednesday? Probably never. Our brains are wired to see Monday as a clean slate, a fresh beginning. But here's where it gets interesting. This fresh start effect isn't just about motivation. It actually changes how our brains process information and make decisions. When we approach Monday morning with intention rather than dread, we activate what researchers call our goal-directed attention. This is your brain's way of filtering out distractions and focusing on what matters most. It's like having a mental spotlight that illuminates your priorities while dimming the noise. Sarah discovered this when she started her Monday morning differently. Instead of fighting the fresh start effect, she embraced it. She began each Monday by writing down 3 priorities for the week, not 20, just 3. This simple act of weekly planning activated her goal-directed attention and gave her brain a clear roadmap for the days ahead. But here's what really blew my mind when I first learned this. The way you spend your Monday morning doesn't just affect Monday. It creates what psychologists call weekly momentum, a cascading effect that influences your energy, focus, and productivity for the entire week. I learned this the hard way. For years, I thought Monday mornings were supposed to be tough. I dragged myself out of bed, grabbed coffee, and just hoped to survive until Tuesday. But then I met Marcus, a construction foreman who told me something that stopped me in my tracks. He said, "Tony, Monday morning is when I build my week. Not just my schedule and my whole mindset." Marcus had stumbled onto something profound. He'd figured out that his Monday morning routine wasn't just about getting ready for the day, it was about setting the emotional and psychological foundation for his entire week. The science backs this up. Research from Harvard Business School shows that employees who start their week with intentional planning and goal setting are 31 more productive throughout the week. But it's not just about productivity, it's about something deeper. When you approach Monday morning with what I call purposeful intention, you're not just organizing your calendar, you're programming your subconscious mind for success. You're telling your brain, this week matters, I'm showing up fully. This is where the concept of morning optimization becomes crucial. It's not about becoming a morning person overnight. It's about designing the first hour of your Monday in a way that serves your whole week. Here's a simple framework that's changed everything for thousands of people. The Monday morning clarity ritual. It takes just 15 minutes, but the impact lasts all week. First, spend 5 minutes on what I call weekly visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself at the end of the week, feeling accomplished and peaceful. What would need to happen for you to feel that way? Don't just think it, feel it. Your brain doesn't distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones, so you're literally programming success into your week. Next, write down your 3 priority goals for the week. Not daily tasks, weekly priorities. These should be the things that, if accomplished, would make you feel genuinely proud of your week. Research shows that writing goals down makes you 42 more likely to achieve them. Finally, take 5 minutes for what I call intention setting. Ask yourself, how do I want to show up this week? What kind of energy do I want to bring to my work, my relationships, my own self-care? This isn't about perfection, it's about intentionality. But here's where most people get stuck, and it's something I struggled with for years. You do all the right things, you plan, you set intentions, you visualize success. But by Wednesday, you're back to feeling overwhelmed and scattered. Why does this happen? It's because we've been thinking about Monday morning all wrong. We treat it like a one-time event instead of understanding it as the foundation of what I call weekly momentum. Think of your week like a river. Monday morning is the source, everything flows from there. When you start your week with clarity and intention, you create what psychologists call implementation intentiona, specific plan for how you'll handle challenges and stay on track. This isn't just positive thinking, it's strategic thinking. I remember talking to Jennifer, a single mom who works in healthcare. She told me, I used to think Monday mornings were about surviving the chaos. Now I realize they're about creating the calm. Jennifer discovered that spending just 10 minutes on Sunday night and 15 minutes on Monday morning planning her week didn't just improve her productivity, it improved her mental health. The research supports this. Studies show that people who engage in weekly planning experience 25% less stress and anxiety throughout the week. But here's the kicker, they also report higher levels of life satisfaction and better sleep quality. This brings us to one of the most powerful aspects of Monday morning optimization, the concept of productive momentum. When you start your week with intention and clarity, you're not just planning tasks, you're building psychological momentum that carries you through challenges and setbacks. Think about it this way. Every Monday morning, you're essentially placing a bet on yourself. You're saying, I believe this week can be different. I believe I can show up fully. That belief, backed by intentional action, creates a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. But let me be honest with you about something. There's a myth floating around that successful people just naturally love Monday mornings. That's not true. The difference isn't that they love Monday sits, that they've learned to use Monday morning as a tool for weekly transformation. The real magic happens when you stop trying to feel motivated and start building what I call systematic preparation, a reliable process that works whether you feel motivated or not. Because here's what I've learned. Motivation is like the weather, it comes and goes. But systems are like the foundation of your house. They hold everything up, regardless of the weather. This is why the most successful people don't rely on feeling good to start their week strong. They have what researchers call productivity ritual-specific actions they take that create the conditions for success, regardless of how they feel in the moment. Let me share something that might surprise you. A study from MIT found that people who struggle with what they call Monday anxiety often have the highest potential for weekly achievement. Why? Because that anxiety is actually your brain recognizing the importance of the week ahead. The key is learning to channel that energy into preparation rather than paralysis. This is where the science of emotional regulation becomes crucial. When you approach Monday morning with a clear plan and intentional mindset, you're not just organizing your schedule, you're regulating your emotions for the entire week. You're telling your nervous system, I've got this. I'm prepared. Here's a practical example. David, a software engineer, used to spend Monday mornings in a reactive state responding to emails, putting out fires, feeling constantly behind. Now he starts every Monday with what he calls his weekly leadership meeting, a 20-minute session where he reviews his goals, anticipates challenges, and sets his intentions for the week. The result? David reports feeling 50% less stressed on Monday mornings and 40 more confident in his ability to handle whatever the week throws at him. But here's what's even more interesting. His coworkers started noticing his Monday energy and asking what changed. He's literally become a positive influence on his entire team's weekly momentum. This brings us to something I call weekly transformation. When you consistently approach Monday mornings with intention and preparation, you're not just improving your weeks, you're transforming your relationship with time, with work, with yourself. Think about it. How many Monday mornings have you spent feeling like you're already behind? How many weeks have felt like they happened to you rather than being something you actively created? The difference between feeling like a victim of your week and feeling like the architect of your week often comes down to those first 30 minutes on Monday morning. But here's what I want you to understand. This isn't about becoming a different person. It's about becoming more of who you already are. When you start your week with clarity and intention, you're not putting on a mask, you're removing the masks of stress, reactivity, and overwhelm that have been covering your natural capability. The science is clear. Your Monday morning routine is the single most powerful lever you have for weekly success. Not because it's magic, but because it's strategic. You're setting the tone, creating the momentum, and building the foundation for everything that follows. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, try something different. Set your alarm 15 minutes earlier. Before you check your phone, before you dive into the day's demands, take those 15 minutes to connect with your intention for the week. Ask yourself, what kind of week do I want to create? How do I want to show up? What would success look like? Write it down, make it real. Because here's what I've learned after years of studying this. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not late to the game. You're exactly where you need to be to start creating the weeks you actually want to live. Every Monday morning is a fresh start. Every Monday morning is a chance to bet on yourself. Every Monday morning is an opportunity to remember that you have more power over your week than you might have realized. Your Monday morning matters because your week matters. And your week matters because your life is made up of weeks. Start there. Start tomorrow. Start with 15 minutes and see what happens. I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, what's one thing you're going to try differently this Monday morning? Because sometimes the smallest changes create the biggest transformations. I'm Tony, and I believe your best week is always one Monday morning away. See you in the comments.